Hello, I'm Dee, and welcome to Part 1, It Began in the Womb, of the BodhiBerry Peace Tree Method. I'm turning 59 this week, and because I live with childlike wonder, I've always loved celebrating souls on their birthdays, including my own, especially knowing how hard life can be, and how many of us are fighting for every breath in homes, workplaces, schools, and places we love that are filled with unseen toxins. At 59, I still have all of my original body parts, including my wisdom teeth, everything except my uvula, which was removed by mistake when my tonsils were taken out, and the lining of my uterus, which was removed when I was 40 to end painfully heavy periods that left me bedridden each month. But this year feels different. On the anniversary of my birth, I want to share a gift with you. A gift of peace for your heart and the truth I wish someone had shared with me decades ago. This year also marks 1 year since I no longer needed a cane daily, after surviving life-threatening leaky muscles, leaky brain, and a leaky body in crisis. It's not mental. It's not menopause. It's not long COVID. It's not fibromyalgia. It's not MS. For so many of us, the root cause is often mold illness and sick building syndrome. Invisible, misunderstood, and dismissed for generations, this is a reality I know intimately. My story didn't begin in midlife. It began in the womb. I was born with a compromised immune system. My tonsils were removed at 6 months old. I was given antibiotics before I was even 2, and I grew up in moldy military housing. My body was inflamed before it even had a chance, and still, I fought for every breath to be here. Since I was a child, I whispered to the universe, "Please help me through this. Please help me make it to tomorrow." Last fall, my body entered a full cytokine storm. My strong, sober, holistic personal trainer body began to crash. My tongue was coated white. My lifelong insomnia became dangerous, and I was surviving on minutes of sleep at a time. After my 3rd round of COVID, my body almost gave out entirely. My muscles leaked. My strength vanished. I couldn't lift myself out of the tub. I couldn't open jars, write, or type. My brain fog was so intense that whole days disappeared, just like so many moments in my life. In the middle of that crisis, my doctor prescribed an antibiotic, my first as an adult. He didn't prescribe a probiotic, which is a big no-no when you're trying to protect your microbiome and heal a leaky body, especially while my system was shutting down. I've never wanted medications. They never helped my mom. She was medicated and miserable, and I learned early that pills weren't the path. All I ever wanted was one thing: the truth, the root cause. That way, I could heal the rest. I've been biohacking my health since the 1980s, long before anyone called it biohacking, simply because I had to survive. A doctor once asked my former partner if he thought my symptoms were mental. He said yes. I had to undergo mental testing again. That's one of the reasons I created De-Stress with D, to protect my peace, to show that I am grounded and of sound mind, and to be part of the solution for PTSD peace on this toxic planet. My mother, a brilliant lab technician, was placed in mental hospitals more than once. Because of what happened to her, I always brought someone with me to appointments. I carried a lifetime of medical anxiety from those experiences. If you feel the same, there's a simple practice that helps me. When fear rises, gently say to yourself, "I am safe. All is well in my world." It calms the soul and brings you back to the present moment. I want to speak to the sensitive souls, because I missed these signs for years. Are you a sensitive sleeper, waking easily through the night? Are sounds sharper or louder than they should be? Do certain textures or tags bother your skin? Does your digestion feel delicate? Do your stools change with stress, food, or environment? Do rashes, acne or skin irritation appear? Or are you dealing with skin cancer like I have? Do bright lights hurt your eyes or strong smells overwhelm you? Do temperature changes feel extreme? Do emotions sweep over you, leaving you startled or exhausted? Do you startle easily? If any of this resonates, your body is speaking. You are not imagining it. You are not overreacting. Sensitivity is not weakness, it is guidance. It's your body asking for care, awareness, and peace. It took decades for the medical system to admit that gut issues, trauma, mold exposure, inflammation, and chronic illness are connected. Only in the last 5 years have doctors begun to understand what many of us have lived our entire lives: the critical role of microbiome health in mental and emotional well-being. If you have ever felt alone, it's because we are living with an invisible illness, one that no hospital test in Canada or OHIP office can detect. This is also why I was denied disability, despite a 3-year battle and a detailed, supportive letter from my doctor. Even now, despite feeling healthier than ever, finally sleeping 8 hours a night, if our 15-year-old cat Thumper doesn't wake me, I am unable to work in traditional environments. Mold has memory, just as our muscles do, and our bodies store the traumas our minds try to forget. This is why I help you release it all, slowly, naturally, frugally, and peacefully. Mystery symptoms and hormonal chaos are signals that your liver, womb, microbiome, and tissues are overloaded. Another condition I want to highlight is SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, a challenge I've lived with since my teens but wasn't diagnosed until I was 58. SIBO occurs when bacteria grow in the small intestine where they shouldn't be, causing bloating, gas, abdominal pain, irregular bowel movements, fatigue, and nutrient malabsorption. Over time, if left untreated, it can contribute to chronic inflammation, leaky gut, hormonal imbalance, immune dysregulation, and systemic toxicity. Many conventional treatments rely on expensive antibiotics, but healing SIBO naturally is possible with a combination of dietary strategies, supporting gut motility, antimicrobial herbs, targeted probiotics, and careful management of toxins and binders in your body. The goal is to restore balance, reduce bacterial overgrowth, and heal the intestinal lining, without relying solely on harsh pharmaceuticals. My own first antibiotic course didn't work, likely because I was using binders for mold and metals at the time. But with a strategic, natural approach, lasting gut healing is achievable. From a leaky body and a leaky home to peaceful, grounded, healthy living, this is the path I help women walk every day. I specialize in helping firstborns, Type A moms, and future moms heal sick kids, womb wounds, leaky walls, deep worries, and stressed nervous systems. You've now found your people. You are no longer suffering in silence. This message is for you if you were a firstborn or parentified child, a survivor of childhood trauma, a Type A mom-to-be navigating fear, stress, or fertility challenges, a single mom running a household and a business while carrying old wounds, a personal trainer, holistic healer, a first responder or competitive athlete pushing your body beyond what your nervous system can handle. It's for those doing everything to heal a leaky body, yet still feel exhausted, inflamed, bloated, or in pain. It's for those struggling with conception, pregnancy, or preparing their womb for future children. It's for those caring for sick kids while their own health feels like it's falling apart. It's for those whose homes greet them with a warm hug and are immaculate and organized because it's the only place they can control. It's for the sensitive, the overachievers, the perfectionists. If any of this describes you, you are not broken. It's not your fault. Your environment, toxins, mold, and unhealed traumas have created a perfect cytokine storm inside your body. Your symptoms are not random. Anxiety is your body screaming that it is overwhelmed. Insomnia is your brain trying desperately to detox while you sleep. Chronic pain, fibromyalgia, deep fatigue, and inflammation are signs your nervous system has been running in survival mode for far too long. And many of the things you've been told are just hormones, just aging, just genetics, or just mental illness are actually signals that your tissues, liver, womb, microbiome, and entire system are overloaded. This includes vision changes, hair thinning, chronic ear and sinus infections, fungal arthritis, painful joints, diverticulitis, hernias, tremors, panic attacks, fainting spells, and even strokes. All of these symptoms have roots in inflammation, nervous system dysregulation, trauma, toxic exposures, or an overwhelmed microbiome. Vision often changes when inflammation and oxidative stress affect the delicate tissues around the eyes. Hair begins thinning or falling because stress hormones, nutrient malabsorption, and chronic inflammation disrupt the growth cycle. Chronic ear infections, or sinus issues, frequently come from mast cell activation, the immune system reacting too intensely to mold, foods, chemicals, fragrances, or stress. Joint pain and arthritis often develop because long-term inflammation wears down cartilage, and sometimes fungal or microbial overgrowth settles in the joints. Many people who end up with knee replacements were not dealing with aging. They were living with decades of inflammation. Diverticulitis is another warning signal. Those painful pouches in the colon become infected or inflamed because of gut dysbiosis, immune overreaction, and chronic stress. Hernias develop when connective tissues weaken from inflammation or mechanical trauma. My own hernia, for example, was caused during childbirth when my son got stuck and my body was flipped and pressed to bring him safely into the world. Decades later, every sneeze still triggers pain on the left side near my liver. Trauma leaves lasting imprints. Your heart is also affected by chronic stress and inflammation. High blood pressure, arrhythmias, vascular fragility, and even strokes are often the result of long-term inflammation, toxic exposure, and nervous system exhaustion. Strokes rarely happen out of the blue. They happen after years of the body being overwhelmed. Tremors and internal shaking are also not random. They often appear when mast cells misfire, mitochondria become exhausted, or neuroinflammation spreads through the body. Mold exposure, post-concussion syndrome, blood sugar instability, trauma, or a dysregulated vagus nerve can all create trembling that feels frightening, but is actually the body trying to regain control. Panic attacks are not psychological weakness. They are the body's emergency alarm system. When your stress hormones spike, when your vagus nerve becomes overwhelmed, or when your brain can't regulate incoming stimuli, the body fires into panic to protect you. Fainting, especially after concussions, is another protective response. After head injuries, like the many I've had, blood flow can become unstable, the autonomic nervous system becomes hypersensitive, and the brain sometimes forces a shutdown to reset itself. Fainting is not weakness. It's your brain trying to keep you alive. And the truth is this: mystery symptoms and hormonal chaos are simply signs that your liver, your womb, your microbiome, and your tissues cannot hold one more drop of stress, trauma, or toxins. Hormones are not the enemy. They are messengers responding to overwhelm. Even neurological symptoms like tremors, ADHD patterns, or neurodegenerative warning signs can be deeply influenced by inflammation, immune dysfunction, toxic load, and trauma stored in the nervous system. I experienced ADHD symptoms earlier in life, and when I healed my microbiome, detoxed my home, calmed my inflammation, and restored my nervous system, the ADHD patterns faded. That's not coincidence. That's physiology. The truth is simple. Your body is not attacking you. Your body is adapting to survive. Once you understand that your symptoms are messages, not malfunctions, everything begins to make sense. When you release toxins, calm inflammation, heal trauma, and restore the microbiome, the body starts to return to peace. Most women and mindful men I help, as a c-ptsd peer supporter for Addiction Peace, are unknowingly living with endotoxins from gut bacteria overgrowth, mycotoxins from mold exposure, biotoxins from bacteria, parasites, or environmental pathogens, heavy metals like mercury and cadmium, environmental chemicals from plastics, cleaners, and cookware, pesticides and herbicides in food and water, endocrine-disrupting chemicals in cosmetics, furniture, fabrics, and food additives or preservatives that irritate the gut and trigger chronic inflammation. These layers of toxicity interact with trauma and nervous system dysregulation, creating chronic illness cycles that feel impossible to escape. I teach you how to detox your body, home, and relationships so your nervous system can return to peace. I show how to detox mold and environmental toxins, heal the womb, gut, brain, and bowels, repair the nervous system and c-ptsd stress responses, reverse inflammatory cycles, create a peaceful inner and outer environment, and reclaim health, energy, joy, and identity. My mission is to help you end chronic illness cycles and live in deep peace within your body, your home, and your relationships. This is where the BodhiBerry Peace Tree comes in. Healing is like tending a tree, simple in concept, but it requires attention, care, and patience. Your roots are your microbiome, your foundation. These tiny organisms control digestion, nutrient absorption, immune balance, and even your mood. If your roots are unhealthy or overwhelmed by toxins, inflammation, or trauma, your whole tree suffers. Your trunk is your nervous system, strong, steady, and resilient when properly nourished and supported. Like a tree trunk, it holds everything upright, connecting your foundation to your branches. When your nervous system is under constant stress, it affects every organ and system, from your gut to your joints, heart, and brain. Your branches are your organ systems. Each branch is affected by trauma, toxins, and chronic stress. When you care for them through nutrition, movement, detox, rest, and emotional processing, your branches grow strong, healthy, and productive. And finally, the berries are the fruits of your labor. They are the peace, self-love, and vitality you cultivate daily. They are the reward for the work you do to protect and nourish your body, mind, and soul. When storms hit, and they always will, your roots, trunk, and branches hold you. This is how we live long, healthy, peaceful lives and reduce the risk of another cytokine storm on this toxic planet. Healing is simple, not easy, not fast, but simple. Karma is cause and effect, the seeds we plant, the roots we tend, the peace we choose each day. Your choices matter, your care matters, your peace matters. I support you with motherly strength as Mama Lovey D. Lovey was to be my grandmother's name, and with Buddhist compassion. I guide you to heal your mind, digestion, environment, nervous system, and relationships with yourself and others, because everything is connected. You are not broken. Your tissues are overloaded. Your body is doing everything it can to protect you. Once you clear the toxins, calm inflammation, and heal trauma stored in your tissues, peace returns, health returns, hope returns, and you finally get your life back. Sending loving kindness from the heart of Canada. Deanne Berry, your healing bodhisattva, helping you awaken to your true nature on the path to c-ptsd peace, creator of the BodhiBerry Peace Tree Method. May you feel held, heard, and hopeful today. If this message touched you, or if you know someone who is silently struggling with their health, their body, or their nervous system, I encourage you to share this with them. They are not broken. They are not a burden. They are simply overwhelmed, and healing is their birthright. No one should suffer in silence. You don't have to go through this alone.